Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand. Drum roll, please. This one is big. Number 99. 99 damn weeks I've been doing this. Pretty incredible. Speaking of incredible, this vlog, chock full, baby. Chock full of really important business lessons. Lots of them. And so I think we're just going to dive right in. Something that we touched on last vlog when we were in Chicago was the fact that, oh yeah, we moved labs, right? We switched manufacturers for the product. This was a major, and we didn't really, I don't think, address how major it was, the fact that we were switching labs. It's been a process. It's been something that we've been working on for months and months and months and months. And it was something that was very difficult. We had to have them do test batches of our products, different formulations, go back and forth. But they are an incredible, our new lab is incredible. The first lab we had that you guys have been to was awesome, right? They were great. They're just awesome people. The products were good. But the issue, like we talked about, was the consistency and the quality control. And too often it was sort of like put on us like, oh, it's your formula, it's not us. It's like, well, what are you talking about? The formula doesn't change. And so there was too much inconsistency. And the one thing that we need is a consistent product so that you know every single month that your scrub is going to feel, is going to smell, is going to perform the same as the month before and the month before. And we had some doozies in terms of some issues. I mean, we had some a PM product that was like, basically we've had to like almost like self-recall because it had a odor to it because of one of the natural ingredients. I believe it was like sea kelp or collagen, or it was something from the ocean that had sort of like a little bit of a strong smell, and it shouldn't have. Anyway, we've had some issues with quality control and our products not being consistent. Now, I'm not saying that we're never going to have any variation ever again, but I've tested, I've smelled, we've all smelled all of the different batches that we have now coming, and they are awesome. Like super awesome. And so we're really excited about that. And the fact that we have somebody in a lab that's in Chicago that we can go and Kelley and Tom can go and have meetings and test things, and we actually have people that go and double check, like in terms of quality control. And so it's a bigger, more professional operation with bigger capacities, because as Tiege Hanley grows, we need to be with a partner that can scale with us. And our old lab, they had limitations in terms of how many products they can fill in an hour, how big a batch they can create at a time. And so it's a really big deal. It took a lot of work. It's taken a lot of meetings, and we're really excited and hope you guys absolutely love the products as much as we know that you will and that you have in the past. So thank you for those of you who have noticed some slight variations. The products all work the same, but the big variations typically is going to be a little variation sometimes in the color, and sometimes the odor in the different products might be slightly different. But hopefully moving forward, that's never an issue ever again. But now let's talk about us getting fired. So Tiege Hanley got fired by our marketing guy. For those of you who have been following along, you know that the gentleman who handles our advertising, our remarketing, and our social advertising on Facebook, on YouTube, on Google is my friend Ryan Masters. He's a great guy. I've known him for years, and he has really done a fantastic job with Pete and Pedro. He does my Pete and Pedro remarketing, and it's crazy, the return. My return on Pete and Pedro in terms of what I spend versus what I make on what he handles is like 2,000%. I mean, it's insane. And so we hired him at Tiege Hanley to help with our marketing message and to help get our videos out, our ads, to help test different landing pages. What Ryan's skill set is, and what he's incredible is paid traffic. That is his moneymaker. That's what he does. But Ryan is a passionate dude and he has a lot of hobbies. He loves riding motorcycles. He country line dances. He works out. He has this YouTube channel called Spartan Strength or something like that. I forget off the top of my head exactly what the name of the YouTube channel is. But anyway, Ryan's got a lot of interest. He has a lot of different hobbies. And what he has done and what he has developed for himself is a lifestyle. He has a lot of free time because what he does with these companies and his clients, it doesn't require a lot of time. It's something where he goes in once a day, sort of looks at the numbers, looks at how he can change, how he can tweak, how he can modify something and try and get a better, CPA and all that good stuff. But with Tiege Hanley, we were asking him to do a lot more than just, let me back up. What Ryan does is drives traffic. He's really good at paid traffic. And so what these companies do is, hey, here's my offer. This is what I sell. Now get the message out and drive traffic to this offer. And then it's our job as a brand, as a customer, to convert those sales once we get them. Well, what we were asking Ryan to do is a little bit of everything. We were basically coming to him and saying, we need you to drive traffic. We also need you to help with our messaging because we're really not sure. We know that Aaron, I drive traffic or I drive sales, but that messaging that we've talked about on numerous occasions, on numerous vlogs, that was the piece that we were trying to figure out, that we're still trying to figure out. What converts cold traffic? And so we were asking Ryan to do a lot of that, a lot of testing, a lot of different messaging, and he would say to us like, hey, you need a stronger offer. That's not sort of my thing. I can't do all of your creative and stuff like that. And so I got a call from Ryan 2 weeks ago before I went to Chicago. And he said, Aaron, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, well, what's up, Ryan? And he's like, I've been thinking that I might not want to work with Tiege Hanley anymore, and I think I might need to. Sorry about the lighting. The sun just went behind the clouds. I think I'm ready to sort of toss you guys the keys. And I'm like, okay. And so we sort of explained things. And basically, what's happening is Tiege Hanley is really sort of going hard and going strong and really needing to figure this out, figure this conversion mechanism out, figure everything out. And Kelley, who we'll talk about in a second, has taken a more active role in sort of directing and leading the team and charging up that hill. And so Kelley was asking Ryan a lot of these questions, a lot of these hard questions like, what is this? What are we doing? What are we focusing on? How are we going to achieve X, Y, and Z? And Ryan was like, look, this is what I do. You guys need something else. And I didn't sign up for, like 3 calls a week. I didn't sign up to basically be your marketing director. And what Ryan's skill set is and what he's incredible at is driving traffic. And so he's been doing and wearing a lot more hats that we've been asking him for. I think part of it, and the reason he's been doing it, is because it's me and I've been, a part of this. But at the end of the day, Ryan, it's not his sort of skill set, and he doesn't want to be a full-time Tiege Hanley employee. And so he basically fired us. And I said, okay, when he told me this, I'm like, you gotta call Kelley right away and have a conversation and let him know. And this was before we actually went to Chicago and had this meeting. And he was planning on having a conversation with Kelley later in the week. And I said, you got to tell him this stuff now, because what you and I are talking about and what we're going to be meeting about in terms of our quarterly meeting, there's a lot of things that sort of fall within that marketing bucket. And right now, if we think that you're in it and you're going to be our solution, if we know that you're not, that changes the conversation, and we got to figure things out. And so Ryan called Kelley, they had a conversation, and basically told Kelley, and Kelley understood and actually called me after the fact and said, I really appreciated how professional Ryan was about this and the way that he sort of went about explaining things, and he is going to help us transition away from him, as opposed to just being like, mic drop, here are the keys, all right guys, thanks, it's been fun. Ryan is helping us transition a new person in once we find that new person, which we're currently working on as we speak. But we got fired, and it was okay. It was not only okay, it's actually the best thing for both parties. And I think that's really the takeaway. Sometimes as a business grows, you grow in separate directions. It's very similar to a relationship. A lot of things, you know, in business, we talk about, you know, getting into a business partnership is tougher to get out of than a marriage in a lot of cases. You get so closely tied. Well, the consultants that you work with, the people that you hire, also, these are relationships, and you tie together your businesses. And so being honest and being realistic with what your expectations are, both from their expectations with us and our expectations with them, you know, you've got to be on the same page. If you're not, bad things happen. And so we were asking Ryan to do things that he isn't equipped and isn't his skill set. Yes, he can do it. Is he the best at it? Is this what he, you know, signed up for? No. And we need somebody full-time. It's all they think, they eat, they breathe, they sleep. Tiege Hanley, marketing and traffic and conversions. And we don't have that. And Ryan was great, and he helped us get to where we are. And now it's time for us to shake hands, for him to go his way, do his thing, country line dance, do all the things he's passionate about. And it's time for us to grow in our direction and find somebody who's ready to take Tiege Hanley to that next level. Speaking of next level and taking us to that place, now let's talk about Kelley, because as I film this vlog, he is on a business trip doing something that's, I can't even imagine how difficult it is. Over the course of the past year and a half that we've been doing Tiege Hanley, me, Rob, Kelley, we've had certain roles. Well, as we've sort of gotten into business and doing things, Kelley has always had another business that is a pretty big business that does, you know, big numbers, and he has a team of like, I don't know, like 20, 30 people that he is, you know, kind of responsible for and working with. And he's had this business for years. I think it's like 7, 8, 9 years. So he's had this, and this has been his baby. And Tiege Hanley's sort of been like his side hustle, right? Well, as Tiege Hanley has grown, it's become more and more apparent that Kelley needs to take a more active role in leading Tiege Hanley to where we need to go. And doing it part-time and moonlighting as sort of like a part-time CEO just isn't getting it done. And so as our business has grown, as our roles and responsibilities have become a little bit more clearly defined, Kelley had to make a decision. And the decision he made was to actually give up his other business and to take Tiege Hanley full-time and to where it needs to go. And so he had to basically get rid of one of his businesses. And the way that he did it, I was super impressed. You know, he had a lot of receivables in this business. You know, he had, you know, accounts receivable and stuff like that. He could have just shut the doors, been like, all right, guys, it's been fun, packing up, taking the money, been like, deuces, I'm out. But he felt a responsibility and an obligation to all these people that have worked so closely with him. And so he actually figured out a way to, and I haven't gotten all the specifics, and I'm not going to go and even try to explain things, but I believe what's happening is he is giving the business to his employees to run. He's going to still maintain a small equity piece, but it's theirs. He's basically going to help them, sort of like Ryan is helping us transition to somebody else. He is going to help them transition to being self-sufficient and letting them sort of run as fast as they can and grow that business the way that they need to. And how hard can that be? Like, I think about that. Like, I think about how difficult a decision it was to actually have that conversation. And so at our last board meeting, he was talking about, you know, this upcoming trip that he had to take and what he had to do. And he was really upset about it, and really, it's hard. I mean, I can't imagine how hard it would be to sit down my team and be like, all right, guys, you know, it's been fun, it's been good, I really appreciate it, but it's time for me to go, and we're shutting the doors down. And so luckily, he didn't do that. Luckily, you know, they had a leader and a business owner that was strong enough and had just a moral fiber to not screw them and to leave them high and dry. And so I think it's very admirable. And so, you know, situations like this are great for me, right? It's for selfish reasons. I'm glad that he's doing this, you know, because I want him to take the bull by the horns, Tiege Hanley, and run and let Rob and I and the other team members sort of support him. And you know, that's one of the things that he has had a very clear vision of where Tiege Hanley has needed to go. And so the fact that we're making it happen and I and Rob, we can support him and help, you know, him in taking Tiege Hanley to where we need to go and letting him lead is incredible. Now, something else that he said, right now I'm going to lead the company, but once we grow to a point where I'm not capable of leading Tiege Hanley anymore, I'll step aside and we can hire a new CEO. And so, you know, this type of high level stuff is some pretty intense stuff. And it's hard. You know, these are the hard decisions, and you got to make the call, and you got to, for the sake of the business, you've got to do what's right for the business. And so I'm excited. I'm really excited, and I'm thankful that he was willing to do this. And I'm excited, even more excited, to know that I've got a business partner that is committed to the business. Rob and I were all in, right? We were all in. Kelley was all in. But this is a different level of all in and a different level of commitment. And I personally really appreciate it because I'm excited. I'm excited for where we're going. I'm excited for what we've done. Rob has been killing himself, and he has been doing a fantastic job. It's incredible to actually have business partners that are so amazing. That's one of the things that I look back on. Last week I posted a video talking about Pete and Pedro where I get real choked up and I talk a little bit about, you know, the growth, the expansion. I actually show the warehouse, and, you know, I get real emotional. I get real choked up. Part of the thing that chokes me up is the fact that, you know, when I had to shut my business down, you know, I've had business partners that haven't been fantastic, and we've had really tough things to get over, and just being where I was and where I am, and then having this situation with Rob and Kelley, I'm just so thankful and fortunate that I didn't give up. And so that was something, and sort of the takeaway from that other video is just don't give up. You know, as long as you're capable, you know, do the work, things can get better. And it's amazing to see where I was, you know, 9 years ago driving a beer cart to make ends meet to where we are now. You know, multiple businesses, you know, they're all thriving, but they don't thrive by accident. You've got to bust your ass and work super hard to make it happen. And I think on that note, I'm going to wrap it up here. Number 99 in the books. It's incredible. I can't believe we've been doing this for 99 weeks. It's crazy. I thought I was going to do this for like 10 episodes, but it is awesome. Guys, here's the deal. Next week, big 100. The reality is we're going to have a 200 and a 300 and all that good stuff, but the first 100 is special. And Tiege Hanley is built, and the reason we are successful is because of you. And so I want to make 100 about you as well. Now, I know last week or 2 weeks ago I talked a little bit about, oh, we're going to do live. I'll see if I can figure it out. Unfortunately, I am going to be traveling. When the vlog posts, I'm going to be traveling from Savannah to Atlanta, and I'm not going to be able to do the live video. I need to pre-record it. And so that's all right. Doesn't mean we're not going to do a live vlog. Maybe next time I go to Chicago for annual meeting, that would be pretty sweet, right? Have Josh, have Tom, have everybody there. How about that? How about that? A happy compromise. Next time I'm in Chicago, we'll go live. Huh? Pretty sweet, right? For 100 though, it's going to be all about you. All of your questions, not all of your questions, but in the comments down below, if you've got a business-related question, if you've got a Tiege Hanley-related question, if you've got an Aaron Marino question, let me know down in the comments. Next week, it is all about comments, and we'll try to get to as many as possible, because honestly, when I think about it, this business is mainly where it is because of you. And so I think number 100 and the fact that you have been here, you have persevered with us, and you've been along for the ride, it deserves to have your questions answered. Yeah, it's been one of those days. Guys, we love you more than our double monk strap shoes. And if you've got any business related questions, any Tiege Hanley questions, any questions from me, down in the comments, let me know next week. All questions, because it is big 100. Gentlemen, oh, one more thing. I did that voiceover. If you want to check out the new version of the voiceover with the explainer video, that will be listed and linked down below. And personally, I think it is much better and super solid. Guys, we'll see you next week for big number 100.